Hello everyone and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. My name's Lorraine and today we are building an apartment for a single mom with 7 kids, which I thought was just like craziness. It's something that you guys could use for like a 100 baby challenge too, or like a legacy challenge. What I like to do, I don't really like renovating the apartments that come with The Sims 4. So I kind of took a leaf out of Freezer Bunny's book and started building like my own apartment buildings because I really like that. And if you wanted to, with the new roommate system, you could very easily put people in the other apartment spaces if you wanted to. I try to make it look like there are people living there. Like I put like some bikes outside and like some plants and stuff. I wanted it to have that feel and that look, but they're not furnished on the inside, just so you guys know. I don't even think there's like bathrooms in there or anything or like rooms. They're just like big empty open space, and then the upper left hand corner apartment is furnished and ready to live in for a mom and 7 kids. So here I'm getting the outside structure together, and I kind of modeled this apartment off of me and my husband's first apartment, or I guess it was our second apartment, but the first apartment we lived in for quite a long time anyway. But of course it wasn't in Japan. So I tried to add a little bit of a Japanese flair because of everything is about Snowy Escape right now, and I love Snowy Escape and I want to play with Snowy Escape, and I've been enjoying the gameplay and also that like feel of Japanese architecture. I think it's really pretty. That being said, this is definitely more of a Japanese inspired build. I wasn't trying to recreate actual Japanese buildings. I did try to use like architectural influences, but I would not call this like, this is a Japanese build. So it's definitely a Japanese inspired build. We'll leave that there. So I tried to make this have a feel like you could come home and like your neighbors you'd be like friends with your neighbors and you'd all like kind of hang out and have fun. And I used like a warm gray color to make it feel like neutral but inviting on the outside. And like the upper 2 areas have balcony, and then the bottom 2 have their own like little courtyard area for plants or whatever you want to put in there, really. Putting in some windows here. This build was challenging, but in a different way than a lot of my more challenging builds, because it was interesting to try to think about how to have all the stuff a family with 7 kids would need in this like pretty small apartment. So I think like most of the bedrooms have a desk. I think there ends up being like 5 desks in the house, I think, something like that. And there's like a desk in 3 of the bedrooms, and then there's 2 like out in the kind of in the living area, because all of those kids would have to be doing homework. And like it's just like, and now when like so much homework stuff is online, it's like you would have to have a bunch of computers for that to be like possible. So here I'm putting in a front staircase, and I want to note this here because I did not know this until I tried to make this build. You have to have a space between one row of stairs and the next row of stairs. I did not know that. I found that out. It was quite annoying. But I do have these platforms here that I thought made the edges of the stairs look so cool. It really like made my life to be able to do that. I thought that was like super cool. I like how that turned out. I think I ended up putting like some cypress trees in there, and using there's that bottom of the basement flooring if you go into the floor, which is basically just dirt, and so you can put that where you want a floor tile so it looks like there's dirt in there. Yeah, that's a nice little tip that not everybody knows about. I've built a lot of basements I don't know what that says about me as a simmer, but I have built my my share of murder basements over the years. I haven't built one in a while. I should build like a dark build. I haven't done one of those yet for my channel. I have done them, but not for my channel. So here I am working out the floor plan on the inside and trying to figure out how to have space for 7 kids and their mom was no simple task. So I think everyone shares a room, like even the mom. I think the mom and the oldest daughter share a room, because there are 2 kids that are girls, 2 teenage boys, a teenage daughter, and then twin toddler boys, I think. I think that's right. So there's the 3 oldest too, the 2 oldest the 3 oldest are triplets. So the 3 oldest, yeah, so the teenagers are triplets, and then the 2 child girls are not twins, and then the toddler boys are twins. So a lot of kids. And I kind of had the idea for this house that the reason that the mom is a single mom is because maybe the dad passed away, and so now they're like trying to figure out their situation. And I know that's kind of dark, but it's real for a lot of people, unfortunately. Like a parent passes away, and then you have to figure out the finances. So now they're like literally in like, it's a 4-bedroom apartment, which is not, you know, cheap to get an apartment with that many bedrooms, but yeah, so everybody is sharing a room because, you know, they can't afford like an 8-bedroom house. So I don't know what the mom's job is. I didn't get that far with this family. I need to start thinking about that more, because it would give more insight into like what's in their house, I think, people's careers and stuff. So this house is a lot more just about like kid life, trying to keep 7 kids happy, safe, comfortable, and having what they need as much as possible on a limited budget. So what I decided to do for the seating area is, rather than having like sofas, I decided to do like a bunch of like poof ottoman type items, because I was just thinking like those tend to be cheaper than like an actual sofa, and you know, this is all about the cheap vibes. The only thing about that I would say is like maybe they sold all of their furniture that they had or something in their old house just to like get by, and like they just like kept, I don't know what the story is. I should have figured that out more. I don't know, maybe I will start doing that in the future, like having a better idea of what their story is, since I seem to keep wanting to tell you guys their story and then being like, actually, I don't know the story. Anyway, we'll work on that one. So I use these cabinets from Parenthood because I feel like they go really well with the new Snowy Escape cabinets. And I figured in this family, they probably do have a bunch of cooking stuff, because there's 8 of them. Like, you'd have to make like multiple pans of food just to feed everybody, especially when you've got like 2 teenage boys in the house. And teenage boys eat a lot of food, like a lot of food. They're because they're growing constantly, and they just need it. They need to eat. So I imagine that like there'd be a lot of cooking happening in this house. It's cool though that there's like 3 teenagers, because they could probably help a lot with all of like the cooking and like stuff little kids can't help with. Like little kids can help with like simple things, but you know, you can't really have a little kid cooking dinner. Like that's not that's not good. I did enjoy using the platforms in this build too. One thing that I found that was interesting was, in order to get like that step down at the front, what I ended up having to do was put a platform across the entire span of the room, and then put a hole in it right by the front door, because it's on the 2nd story. So just if you want to do that in your own builds, if you want it to have a step down, you have to raise the whole area up one, and then you could put that step down. And it ended up being neat because it created kind of a platform set up for the kitchen and a platform set up for like the living room. I felt too that it was really important that this house have like a comfortable, cozy space for the little kids to play. That's why I put in that rug with the toys and stuff over there. Because this is not like a sad home. They're just like living through, you know, life's challenges, just like anybody, you know. So they've got some challenges right now, but you know, they'll get through them. So here I'm setting up one of the many study areas in this house, and here is the one bathroom. And I realized after I made this bathroom that this is for a Japanese family, and I put the toilet in the same room as the shower. So I ended up taking the door off and then like putting a wall in to divide it so it would be separate and putting in new doors. So I was really glad that I remembered, because I would have been quite embarrassed if I had forgotten and then uploaded this. Although I forgot to put tatami mats in the bedroom in my family rental in the kids' bedrooms. So yeah, I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be. And of course we've got to have kids drawings. Like, those are super important if you're gonna be in like a family home. Because like, I don't know if you guys have kids out there watching this, but when kids are normal, like in normal school time, they come home with so much artwork, like constantly, like so much artwork. Like I have so much artwork that my boys came home with, and it's like, as a parent, of course it's like important to care that your kids made artwork, but at a certain point there's like stacks of artwork and it starts taking over your house, and you're like, okay, I don't want my child to feel like their artwork doesn't matter or that I don't like it or something, but it's taking over the house. Anyway, that's my personal struggle with the child artwork, but I do enjoy having it around. I love the little things that the kids make. I think that they're really fun. So one thing in this room, this is the biggest bedroom, and I imagine the two daughters that are child age are in this room, and they have like their dollhouse, and this room is like, has a pink and gray sort of feel to it, obviously. This was so cool that I was really excited about this for some reason. That activity box, you can, if you set it just right, you can put stuff on top of the paper that's next to it, and it just looks like perfectly cluttered. It made me so happy that it just fit like that. So I just had to point that out. So this room is for the two of the teenage boys. There are only two teenage boys, excuse me, but they have a teenage sister who is their triplet, with them. So anyway, so this room, I was really proud of how this room came out, because I tried a bunch of different configurations. I managed to get a desk and two beds in this like 3x3 room, and it functions. Like, I play tested everything in here, so I was quite proud of that feat. Anyway, so one of them is a snowboarder and one of them is into mountain climbing, and they really enjoy their extreme sports. They're super into that, which makes sense, right? Because they live in Mount Komorebi, so it would be easy for them to just go up there. I imagine they must have had climbing gear from before things got hard, and then, you know, it's not like you lose your climbing gear or your skis or your snowboard or whatever. That's one thing that's interesting, is like, when you become poor, it's not like you stop having the things you had before you were poor. So like, I don't know. That's my explanation for why they have the money for these things, and I'm okay with that. So I'm just gonna leave that there and move on. So this room, I imagine the mom shares with the oldest daughter, and there's a desk in here as well, because we need all the desks we can get in this house. There's so much homework being done that like every single space needs to be maximized for that. So I wanted to put at least one dresser in this house, because, you know, like, you'd have to have somewhere to keep clothes. I know in The Sims you really need a mirror but I don't know, for just like for reality, I really wanted to have at least one dresser, so I think I ended up with two. I think I gave the toddlers a dresser as well. Yeah, I did. So here's a little nursery prints for the toddler boys, because they're so cute. Those are like my new favorite things. The other thing too, that sliding door there is actually from Island Living, but I felt like it looked perfect and it fit in really well with the rest of the decor, and I found that just delightful. I also tried to put greenery in like every single room in this apartment. I also, like here I am doing the garden on the outside and making it kind of look more lived in, like their downstairs neighbors actually exist. Because, you know, it would be kind of weird if they didn't exist. I don't know. But like, yeah, if you open those doors and you go in there, like there's nothing in there. It's just blank space. But I tried to make it feel like people live there by using plants, because like, you know, plants are everything. Plants are life in The Sims. I tried so many different configurations before I finally decided on those hanging plants there. And then here I'm just finishing up this area and putting in some planter boxes. Alright, we're coming to the end of the video here, guys, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say that I am so glad you guys clicked on my video today. Thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more awesome, amazing, fantastic content just like this. Be sure to hit that notification bell so that you'll know when my next video comes out, and I will see you next time. Bye!